The next thing we're going to check out is how we do some validation. Now this might be a little bit surprising to you, or you may have already been here and been frustrated. We're going to go to the word window and go down to results and select validation. You may already have this open. In fact, all these other tabs are the ones we'll be using in this whole lesson. But if we go to validation, you got a page open. It validates pages. You might click this button right here and validate current document is grayed out. You say, well, maybe I've got the wrong document. Maybe I haven't saved it yet. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so there was a big argument about this on is it a bug? But what I've heard from Adobe on this is basically validation is for XML documents only, XMLs. If you go to settings, though, this can be confusing, because if it's for XML documents only, then why do we have all this stuff up here? What are we validating against if it's XML? Well, that information, according to my unnamed sources at Adobe, actually they do have names, but it sounds better if you say it that way. Those preferences are still there for compatibility with valid extensions like CSE Pro. So that's why that information is there. So if this is all here, why are we even talking about it if it doesn't work? Well, it does work on XML, but I would steer you someplace else anyway, to be honest with you. The validator in Dreamweaver has never been, by most standards, the brightest knife in the block, all right? It's all right. It's a good place to start, but since it only supports XML, where do we go? A place I would send you to anyway. I'm going to go into Safari, and again, open your browser. What we're going to do is open up something called Markup Validation right here, W3C. This is the site, this is the gold standard for validation. Now you can validate if it's already out there. You can validate it by uploading the file, or you can validate directly by typing or pasting the code in right here. What I did was I dummied up a page on my website. So what we're going to do is go into this one here called Index 2. So what I did is I created a couple of problems on it to show you how this works. You do have more options, and you can choose anything you want in here. But if you click check, it only takes a few seconds. And as you can see, all of the problems that are on line 442 because of one change that I made. Now there is one, it isn't a problem, but it is an obvious thing. Since you're not working directly in Dreamweaver, you have to take this information and transfer it over to Dreamweaver as opposed to clicking a button, opening the page, and making it fit. So there's a little bit more going on here, but I would always recommend the validator. This is validatorw3.org. It's free. I would always recommend doing this to your web pages because this, like I said, is the gold standard of validation programs.